Woman, I said, leave that poor man alone and make us some coffee.
So where can we find light in this never-ending shade?
What's up? I'm recording artist Robyn Harris.
A first-degree felony. Don't mind how it go. 1, 2, 3.
I'm here with Lil D TV to talk to you about 5 fast facts for Women's History Month edition. Let's talk about Poker Alice. Born in 1851, she was one of the first self-made women of the West. She made thousands and thousands of dollars playing poker and ended up actually owning her own brothel. Elizabeth Friedman, dubbed the mother of monocryptology, she decoded Nazi messages in World War II that saved thousands of lives. Her story was largely classified until 2008. Bessie Coleman was the first African and Native American to get her pilot's license. She wasn't allowed to fly here in the US because of segregation, so she went all the way to France to get her license. She got it in 1921. She ended up being a stunt pilot and people were obsessed with her until she died tragically in a plane crash, but she paved the way for more women in aviation. In 1924, only 4 years after women won the right to vote, white women, Nellie Ross became the first female governor of the United States. She was an advocate for women's suffrage, agriculture, and banking rights, paving the way for women in politics everywhere. Ta-da! Now let's take it back to the Wild West, shall we? Way long ago, California was still a little bit more progressive than other states. And with the Wild West, they realized that everyone really needed to be all hands on deck. So women did have the right to own land, property, banking rights decades before anyone else. But with the railroad brought federal regulations stripping women's rights once again. Choo-choo! And this has been 5 Fast Facts, Women's History Month. Hope you didn't get too bummed out.
I'm Serena Faith. What I think about women is I think we're very powerful. We're able to flip roles, change hats, and pretty much do everything. Work any job we want, and at the end of the day, go cook dinner and put our kids to sleep. My mother, she's probably the best inspiration. I grew even more appreciation for her as I became a mother myself. I didn't realize how much she actually did for us until I was a mother and realized she was a teen mom. So seeing her, like, I didn't have a kid until I was 23. So having a kid at that age and realizing how much I had to do just to support my child and knowing that she did that at 16 and 20 was just, it was just amazing to know that she did it.
If you're coming right now, let me see it. Let me see it. Show me. Huh? He who is coming? Who's coming? This is the story of
4 amazing local businesses supporting women.
Want me to just show you around? So this is our co-working space. We've got just over 9,000 square feet of space. We've been open since 2016. We have amenities, professional amenities to offer people as part of their membership. Coffee, help themselves to some soda water, and get to work. And mostly it's like individual people that are either lawyers or bookkeepers or designers, salespeople. I think that Denton has a very, there's something really embedded into the culture here that makes it work for small businesses. I do think that it really comes from this like identity of creativity and innovation, and then also like there is a true desire in Denton for this community to be unique and not like any other place in especially North Texas.
Start with the spring menu. We do always do seasonal menus. Honestly, super fun part of the job, coming up with the different flavor combinations, and then after you kind of figure out like what flavors you want to use, you have to, you know, make the recipe. Catherine is going to get started here in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to cut the music, but other than that, she's all set up. Yeah, we're good to go. Hi, you must be Catherine. I'm Brooke.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll load some stuff in.
Perfect.
Can we help you with this paper?
Oh no, that's okay. It's very simple, but also kind of a pain in the ass, so I'm happy to just deal with it myself.
Oh, no, Gerald. Dang. Thank y'all very much. Now, are we too loud? Ladies in the front, be honest with me.
Brooke said you were the one that came to them with this idea.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Give me a level.
Testing 1, 2. We do nothing if not project, us musicians.
That's
My name's Catherine Hudson. I'm a local musician here in Denton, originally from southeastern Kentucky. So kind of specialize in a mix of classic rock, country, and soul. So we'll be doing a little bit of a cover and original set today. But this is a benefit concert specifically for the Refuge of Women North Texas location. So I'm actually a UNT grad student right now. And so one of our assignments for grad school was actually to pick a cause that we cared a lot about and find a way to support them in a unique way that only we could with our individual skill sets. So I'm very passionate about supporting women initiatives. So I looked into resources that support women in the Denton area, and the Refuge for Women was one of the first ones I found. So they specialize in taking care of women who have come out of sex trafficking and domestic violence situations. They focus on providing them with safety, therapy, and healing as they try to reintegrate back into society. So it's something that's a very important mission. I reached out to a few venues here in the local area. So this is my second of 4 shows. So I played last night at the Plot Twist, playing today at Or Coffee, and then I'll be playing on April 4th at Miss Angeline's. So we're very excited about that.
I don't know, Denton just already has such a vibrant community when it comes to music, when it comes to arts, when it comes to different causes and mutual aid. And so really we just found ourselves in a very unique position of already having existing connections to so many different organizations, so many different musicians. And what we've really been trying to be a little bit more gung-ho about recently, which is helping raise money for local organizations that we feel not only do important work, but truly materially improve the lives of our community members in a measurable way.
I mean, yeah, there's a Bigfoot, man. I mean,
Don't you have the same reaction?
we are in Rose Costumes here on the Denton Square. Yep, everything up here on the concrete, this is all for sale. So we have, we call it like it's either weird, well-made, vintage, or all three. Judy Smith, the founder of Rose Costumes, she has made all of these pieces for us to sell, and they're very her. So in the old location, the rent kept going up and up and up, and it just would have had to close or move. And the lovely people who bought this building really wanted to have a local business. They gave me a very kind deal of our, oh, incoming. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Welcome to Rose Costumes.
Good, how are you?
If it's on the concrete floor here in front of the windows, it's for sale. Dressing rooms are over on that side of the store. They're not all decorated yet, but we're in progress thanks to Belle. They're looking fantastic. So yeah, try things on, have a great time. Thank you. I know that when I first started, I got the nickname Mouse for a reason because I was real shy and quiet, and your influence has really helped me to be more of a leader in my own life and stand up for myself more, and part of that's watching you, and hi. Hello. Part of that.
Good, how are you?
But I think it's really important for younger women and young girls to see women in those kinds of roles, in those leadership roles, and living a life that is full of creative pursuits and just being in charge.
Yes, when I say dark secrets. Last. We are the only witch bar in all of Texas, so we think that Denton is the perfect spot for it. The other owner is Elizabeth Burnell. She's my partner and our head witch, as we like to call her. We paired together to make this space a third space for all of the alternative communities in Denton, including but not exclusive of the witch community. So we just want to kind of be the place that people feel comfortable being themselves authentically. We provide mocktails, we have tea, we have coffee, we also have pickles, which we're excited about because we're both pickle fans. A lot of people have a negative connotation when they think of the word witch, but in essence, the word witch was just given to women that were wise. It was given to women that were educated, that utilized tools that were resources to them, that utilized knowledge from their family, from their heritage, from people who passed down information generation to generation. When we call ourselves witches, whether or not it's trending, it is a word to describe the feminine energy that comes from not only being nurturing and a person who wants to help their community regardless of who they are, but they also are using all of the tools that they have access to, all of the knowledge that they've gained over the years. It gives women the strength and the power to be a voice in their community that might be against what the status quo is. And it's okay to go against the status quo. It's needed, it's necessary, especially in times of political turmoil like right now.
Well, yes. I mean, at a base level, yeah. I think women are underestimated all the time. I think like something that it's hard for me in a way because at the same time, like I understand that there are like systemic like inequities, like the fact that like a woman in business couldn't have a loan on her own until 1988, which is like disturbingly recent. But she had to have a male co-signer for a business loan. It could literally be her son, but like had to be an adult male that could co-sign on a business loan. And so I think that there are these ways where we are set up like not to be successful or not to be estimated at all. And so now there's sort of an attempt to, you know, through programs like Accelerate Her or, you know, the countless other programs that are there that are really focused towards supporting women and minorities. It's because like we essentially like we're on the back foot, right? Like we kind of got a late like jump out of the gate. And so I think that while I recognize that there needs to be like some extra support and focus and attention on that, I also sort of resent the idea of like a girl boss or like, you know, it's like we just are bosses. Like we're not any better or worse, but like we just are bosses in a different way. We're gonna probably bring a different leadership style, potentially a different communication style. For certain industries, that's gonna be better. For certain, that might not work so well. But yeah, I do think ultimately like women in business get underestimated all the time. And it's like part of the way that it was all begun, which just honestly estimated that we wouldn't be doing this at all. Because why would we need to?
So what a lot of people fail to understand a lot of the times is that women that are in these type of situations are so incredibly ingrained. You have these spiritual, physical, mental, and oftentimes financial strings that are tying you to the situation that you're in. And if you're in an area where you don't have a support group, you don't have resources like the Refuge for Women, you're essentially on your own in that endeavor. And so it can be incredibly hard for these women to find their way to the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. But the women that have made it this far and the women that are still trying to find their way out, haven't given up hope on themselves. And so we want to find a way to call to them and let them know that there are other women who are here and support them. There's a community that's here for them, and there's a life beyond the situation that they're in.
How's it going?
Going great.
Awesome.
Oh, never mind. He's got a way better camera than I do.
All right. Sounds good.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Oh my God, love the shirt. Charx. So I would say that running a coffee shop specifically, as opposed to really any other business, even if it's also food service, even if it's also like a bar, kind of allows us to have a foot in the world of nonprofits, of mutual aid, of local community organizing, more so than really any other business could, because there's already so much community building and so much organizing that would happen here, regardless of whether or not we were the ones facilitating it. And so really it just seemed, I don't know, kind of obvious to lean into that, to me anyway. And especially this day and age, 2025, people are losing rights. I'm losing rights. The people who work here are losing rights. Our friends and family members are actively losing their rights. And I don't know, I just really can't imagine not doing everything in my power as an individual, but also as somebody working at this coffee shop to not only fight against that, but at the very least, like provide a little bit of relief, a little bit of an escape, you know, somewhere where people can go and they know they're going to be with like-minded people, especially in Texas, especially in North Texas. You know, it's very important for me to help maintain just somewhere where people can go and feel safe and feel comfortable and know that they're protected and they know that there's somebody in their corner.
I can see that from here.
When you were in Columbus, where did
Well,
you
we
get
lived
her
in
from?
Granville, Ohio.
How are you? Good. Nice to see you.
Okay, so you need to see her. Yeah.
Bye. Yeah. Have a safe move.
There. Yeah, you can see.
You can see we're still like
It's
moving
pretty cool.
in.
Oh, yeah.
It's where we do sewing and cleaning and mending. So we have, this is Wes over here, aka Tex. He's making a crown. Stars on her break. And then we have Bunny over here. She's our seamstress, our chief creatologist.
Because I think sometimes people, when they apply or they want to start working here, they're like, I want to sew, not realizing that like, yeah, and they're like, I cosplay, and you're like, that's awesome, but so much of this is going to be putting buttons back on and hanging stuff up, and
suspender buttons, there's 8 per pant. A lot of buttons.
I mean, from a small business perspective, it's really hard now. Rents have gone up so much that businesses just can't do it. And, you know, we're getting into shipping, and that's been a learning curve. But just the expense of shipping, trying to get your stuff from here to there and in one piece, just seems like a lot of quality has gone down in services and that sort of thing. And we're really, for us, that's our whole thing, is quality, customer service. So it's getting harder as things get more expensive and more difficult to maintain what we do, you know. So yeah, and obviously you just have to watch the news and realize that a lot of our incoming. Hello.
Hi. That is something that we're kind of doubling down on, is that this is our house, and people who are not feeling welcome other places are welcome here.
Yes.
And will always be. And most of us are some of those people in other spaces, and we still have a place to be. And that's really important. And we still have a place to be, and if we keep the spirit of Rose Costumes, just like you were saying, all of the quality that we bring, as long as we keep that spirit, then I think we're winning. Even though it can be hard sometimes.
Thank you very much.
We got a soundtrack now, so
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah, my name is Mick. Longtime Dentonite. I've lived here my whole life. So yeah, I love women. I have a sister tattooed on my face. My sister is an educator. I think that we don't take care of our educators as well as we should, but that's obviously a big different topic. Yeah, I'm really big on women. I'm also a girl dad, so that's a big thing for me. I think that women are great. I think that in a certain way, like women are treated a lot differently in this society. Like I was a manager at like a retailer at one point, and that was kind of the first time I really got to see in real time like how differently people would treat women, because there was like a regular customer that would treat me very respectfully, and then when he didn't know like I was like somebody else was watching, which was me, he didn't realize like he was treating like the women that were working there like a totally different manner, and it was just kind of like eye-opening, like because I think that we're aware as like men in society that like women are like sexualized a lot more than we are as men, I would say. Like I feel it's pretty safe to say that. So that was like an instance where I actually was able to like view that in real time, because as a man it's not I feel like super common to actually witness it. Like personally we really have to take women's word for it when they tell us things. The fun police.
Yeah, where are they going?
Women are great, dude. There's a lot of great women out there. I could name a lot off the top of my head. Nina Simone was the fucking GOAT, dude. I love Nina Simone. My sister, dude, Brittany, she's a really great person. Women are strong and very resilient, dude. I wouldn't be here without them, so fuck yeah. Sorry if I got a little lost in
No, that's okay.
translation.
That's good.
Men's free the first hour and free barbecue. Screaming Will's roller rink.
Let the game do its work.
Maggie Mayhem today, along with Smashley Simpson and Axles of Evil. We are the Roller Derby Girls, and we're going to show you some moves.
Let's roll into the next one. It's a hit. And for this one, you might want to wear your elbow pads and knee pads. Here's 3 women breaking barriers and bones.
For example, tonight is a nightmare practice where the Elm Street Nightmares, my home team, is going to separate and do their own independent practice. We'll still have a trainer working with our like earlier skaters, learning, still doing the process, and then we will be moving on and having another third group with our more advanced skaters practicing in the center here. Get it, Claudia? Little endurance.
Where's the Sally Rolls?
We're North Texas Roller Derby, NTRD, and we're at the Lone Star Skate Rink.
Yep, and our league has been around since 2011. We are a nonprofit organization based here in Denton that incorporates a space for women, transgender women, non-binary skaters to all come together and have fun on skates.
1, 2, 3. There, each one. All right, now we have 5, 6 minutes left on the track. I'm looking from the inside of the track out. Everyone should be shoulder to shoulder in the same spot. We want to maintain that. I do want to bring that sentiment, like, if you're frustrated in the game, say something, even like, hey, I just need a quick minute. That's fine. If that's what you need, do it. All right, no judgment here. I have anger issues. Most of us probably have anger issues. We play a sport where we get to hit people. I would be surprised if you didn't. I'm good to go.
It's important for women to have a space where we're not being told to stand up straight, keep our legs closed, be polite, stay quiet. The first thing I teach when I'm training new skaters is get low, own your space, get loud, and be aggressive. And there's really not many places where you can do that without being considered not ladylike, but everything about this is ladylike because we're doing it. So,
especially when there are hard times that make you feel like, wow, are we regressing? Wow, what is our climate right now, and how will that change in the next 3 months? How will I have to change what's going on with myself or my family or my friends? This can be a consistent thing that proves to me that I can keep doing those things, and I should continue to fight for those things and fight for the women around me as well. Add in also that as your captain, I'm happy to be a mediator if ever you need it, or if you need somebody to rant to but you don't want to bring that energy to the team, you're always welcome to bring that to me.
Before Derby, I was a lot more of an internal person, and Derby's made me a lot more external, community-wise, and making sure that my voice is heard. So don't damage me. I'm the star here.
Yeah. When I first started, I had probably not been on skates at all since maybe an 8-year-old birthday party back in 2018. And in fact, it was Teapot that was there for my open house that night, and she was like, listen, you didn't do too great, but you didn't do bad, and I think you could really do it if you try. And yeah, I tried really hard, and it took me 3 years to actually be competitive and get on a team and then move forward from there. But the one thing that was consistent all the way is that I made amazing friends, I had a community, I could volunteer, be a part of something, and it really encouraged me to want to participate and just be involved.
I think I've spent my whole life being told what I should be doing, like you should play with Barbies, not with He-Man. You shouldn't be playing baseball, you should go play softball with the girls. But I did what I wanted. I played football, I played basketball, and it didn't make me any less of a girl. I was just a girl who liked being rough, climbing trees, beating up my little brother in a nice way, but I liked being aggressive from day one, and I was a girl, and it made me no less of a girl. And so when I found this, it was like, finally, not only do I get to be on a team as an adult, which doesn't happen for girls, there's very few opportunities. I don't even think the WNBA existed when I graduated high school. So it's like now I can do all of those things as an adult, and we've got women on the team 10 years older than I am, so there's a lot of shelf life left in this too.
If you want to get the most balls award, you gotta pad up.
Okay, now pull again. Okay. Breathe.
You're looking to fuel your. You're looking. You know what? We get the first take out of the way. If you're looking to fuel your feminine rage this Women's History Month, check out these two amazing jams by Hale Baskin.
Stetson.
Every make your bed on, baby.
Old Alton Bridge, aka the Goatman's Bridge.
It was so fucking tight on my head. I am so surprised it fell off.
It's going that way. Off the bridge, which is great for the bluesy vibe. He's literally wearing like a Mississippi blues hoodie. Well, let me get a shot of all this trash.
Garbage!
Good.
Of many.
Don't. Yeah, stop it.
Censorship. Censorship. All right, happy Women's History Month, y'all. My name is Hale Baskin, and this is Colin Campbell, and we're gonna do a tune for you today, an old Lightnin' Hopkins tune, an old Texas blues tune called Bring Me My Shotgun. But it's originally about shooting women, and we're gonna redirect that energy somewhere more productive. Bring me my shotgun, yes. I'ma start shooting again, yes. I said, bring me my shotgun. I'ma have to shoot again. You know I'm gonna shoot the boss man, 'cause he's fooling with the lives of too many men. You cut off your own nose just to spite your face. Yes. You cut off your nose, yeah, just to spite your face. Say, if I don't get satisfaction, there's bound to be bloodshed all up in this place, yes. You know he tried to quit me when I ain't done nothing wrong. He put me out the door and I ain't even got no home. I said, bring me my shotgun and just 1 or 2 shells. Say, if I don't get competition, bound to be some trouble around here. Bring me my shotgun, yes, and just 1 or 2 shells. Yeah. Go on, bring me my shotgun, yeah, and a pocket full of shells. You know I'm gonna kill that boss man, gonna throw him down in that deep dark well. Hide him from everybody, they won't know where he's at. You know my daddy told me the day I left his door, he said, you're gonna be bad luck, girl, and I don't care where you go. I said, bring me my shotgun and just 1 or 2 shells. Now, if I don't get some competition, gonna be trouble all up in here. The man said, baby, you can't shoot me. He said, now you're dead of trying. Yes, I don't take a day off for nobody. He said, baby, you can't shoot me. Now don't you dare to try. I said, the only reason I don't shoot you, my double-barreled shotgun just won't fire.
Listen, if there's one person you need to know in the city of Denton, it's Linnie Mcadams. She was a civil rights pioneer and was the first black person to own a library card in the 1970s. She's done incredible things, but I'll just let her tell you about it.
People will often talk about what we did as kids growing up. And they say, did you all do that? And I think, no, you idiot. You know, we weren't allowed to. Isn't it gorgeous? The sculpture was done by the Mount Miller architects, the same people who did my house. Yes, that's why I keep fighting for that. I don't understand people who know what the right thing is and just are unwilling to open their mouths. You know, when I first came here, we couldn't use the city library. I remember getting up one day and my husband said, what are you going to do today or something? And I said, I think I'll go to the library today. And he said, you can't do that. Well, you can go over to the high school, Fred Moore High School. You can go over there and tell them what you want, what book you want. And then somebody from there communicates with the library. And at some point or other, the book will finally appear back at Fred Moore, and then you can go and get it. It's like, I criticize you for not knowing, but I put up every stumbling block I can find to make sure that you don't know. This woman was working as a volunteer down here, and I said, if they don't open that library and allow us to come in, there's really going to be trouble. I couldn't imagine. And I dare say my son was the very first black to get a library card after me, because I got one for him and for myself as soon as he was old enough. And then my daughter came right behind.
That's awesome. I knew she was fancy, I didn't know she was that fancy. Yeah. Then I'm going to need you to sign some papers for me in a little bit, maybe some headshots. I'm just saying.
Get some autographs.
Stop it. Between 1912 and 1937, just a year before I was born, a Jewish man whose name was Julius Rosenwald. He and Booker T. Washington joined together to make schools available for black children. Because in the South, unlike the North, where they made some provision for them to go to school, in the South, black children just simply did not go to school. In fact, they didn't want you to learn to read and write. Before we had gone to school, when we lived in Lake Dallas, a lovely woman, her name was Mrs. Gocher. Now, I didn't appreciate all this until much later. Daddy was a farmhand. He worked that farm, and we lived there in this rundown, ramshackle house without plumbing or anything like that. That's the way we lived. And she drove by our house every day going to her job as a school teacher. And she obviously saw that we were old enough to be in school, and obviously that we were not, because we were always there when she came by. And there was no school in the area at all for black kids. She stopped one day and she asked my mother if she brought books from her school, would my mother like to have those to read to us and she could drop them off. And Mother said yes. And I think now that I'm knowledgeable about things, I think what a drastic thing it was for Mrs. Gocher to do that. Yeah, it would have been in the 40s. That's right. I turned 10 years old in 1948, and that's when we moved over there. We moved over there, and I started at that school when I was 10. In all innocence, my brothers sat on either side of Mother, which, as she held the book like so, to read to us. And they were sitting on either side looking at the book. I sat up there. I looked at the whole thing upside down. I could read upside down and did not know that that was a thing. I just assumed, I guess, that everybody could read upside down because somebody was sitting there. You know, I look back and I still try to sort out why Southeast Denton and why Denton is like it is in terms of the race relations. And I think the move out of Quakertown, out of this park area where they lived, the people of Denton, the white power structure, had wanted to build a women's school, and they got the legislature's okay, but it was on the condition that they would clean up this area that the young women had to walk close to go downtown. Yeah. And as with often is the case with men, they came back home and sat down and didn't do anything, and so the women took up the charge. They were going to get these people moved out, and they did some not so nice things, including burning down the school that was here to get the message across that they needed to move. And I think that was so hard for the people who had a life, a good life for the times, and to have to move into this area that they considered less than their area, with people who were not thriving like they were, getting dumped over there was quite an ordeal, and one that they didn't get over quickly. And somehow there was a mayor's committee formed. Warren Whitson was the mayor at the time. I don't really know how I got on that committee. The committee decided that they were going to have to integrate now, so let's take this bull by the horn. And they came up, it's amazing when I think about it, with the most ridiculous, grandiose vision of one day we would pick a restaurant which the first blacks were going to go to, and we'd pick a nice black family, preferably a man and his wife and 2 kids, and we would alert all the people in the restaurant and all the people around, you're supposed to be nice. We're going to have to do this. So here we are marching orders, and I remember being in that room. I simply said, in my youthful ignorance, I don't think that's where we should start, because it does no good to have a restaurant open its doors to you if you have no money to go there. And the biggest problem in Denton for blacks is employment. Irv Bailey, who was then the general manager or something of More Business Farms, which covered a 5-state region at the time. It was a paper manufacturing company. And Irv Bailey stood up and allowed us to how well, he said, the problem with that is that the students who graduate from Fred Moore High School can't pass, they have what's equal to about a 7th grade education. He just said that out loud in front of everybody. And the students that graduate from Fred Moore can't pass the test. Whereupon, in my youthful ignorance, once again, I say, well, I don't know what kind of Mickey Mouse test you have down there, but whatever it is, I can pass it. But I just got dressed and marched right down to More Business Farms and applied for a job. I think I got interviewed about 5 times. We're talking about a file clerk job. I remember getting dressed the last time and saying, I know what they're trying to do, but I don't care how many times they call, because I said, I'm going to get dressed and go down here for this interview. They are not going to be able to say, we would have hired her, but we asked her to come in for an interview and she wouldn't come. Not going to say that. However many times I have to go down here, I'm going. But the people in More Business Farms, I worked in the order department, and I must say they were nice. Maddie was the manager of that department at the time. I can't remember her name right now, it escapes me. But anyway, she was insistent upon, this is a situation, we have this person and you're going to be nice. Because when somebody came in and literally threw down files on my desk for me to file back, she went to that person's boss and said, don't send her up there anymore. She can't come up there and be nice. So she, you know, another woman, right. Another woman who would do the right thing. When I look back at it all, you know, I think how awful it was. But to me, it was the price of success. And so I did it, but I never stopped speaking out. And the most fun thing I think that happened to me was that the executive staff got extra time at lunch to go to Kiwanis clubs and Lions clubs and those kind of things. I think it was monthly that they met. And I pointed out to them after a while, after I'd been there a while, pointed out to them that the League of Women Voters was indeed an agency similar to those, and I deserved to be able to go to the meeting, which also took place at noon. And they did. They let me go.
You're still at the League of Women Voters. That's great.
I am. I've been there for more than 50 years.
That's great.
Well, after that kind of thing, I could never have abandoned them. I have a lot of gratitude for all of the people that have given me a helping hand along the way, and it still do. It just would not occur to me to say, not in my neighborhood. I mean, there are things that obviously don't belong in a neighborhood, but somebody else's house is not one of those things.
Kardashian West. I'm a mother, millionaire, law student, and billionaire.
From my perspective, I like women. My girlfriend is a woman. I think a lot of people also really underestimate how, I guess, tough they can have it, and that I feel like that goes for any group of people that gets discriminated against. But before I, ever started dating my girlfriend, I was really not aware of, I don't know, almost like any of the struggles that they deal with. I know that it's dangerous for them to walk alone at night and everything like that, but it almost is anywhere, at any time of day. They'll just get followed around all the time. My girlfriend, she even says she doesn't want to go to the park alone in the middle of the day, and that's really whack. You constantly see stories of people getting followed around. I walk around all the time, and I don't think I would probably feel nearly as comfortable doing that if I had to worry about some creep following me down the street, catcalling me, doing whatever. I feel just totally fine, and I think that's how most men feel. And they're like, oh, just be confident, just do this. But it's none of that is ever going to be good enough. Yeah.
All right. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, thanks for watching Lil D TV. And again, I'm your host, Robyn Harris, and I don't just host TV, apparently. I'm also a musician who makes alt-pop music right here in Denton, Texas. So check me out on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you stream your music.
Chili?
That's chili bananas.
I'm not correct.
No. Oh yeah, Colin has one in his car.
I used to have one. Cut for time.
Oh, but you can stand. Worst case.
I hate it. I hate every second of it. It's so cold. I got it.
So much for the hardcore bring me my shotgun, girl.
It's fine.
Killed it.
Thanks.